Aloha, beautiful souls, and welcome back to Finding Focus. Today's episode is for all my logical thinkers, my deep analyzers, and my overthinkers who want to believe in intuition and higher guidance, but who also like things that make sense. So if you've ever said, I wish I could trust my gut, but I need evidence, or I keep getting signs, but what if I'm imagining them? Then this episode's for you. Because here's what I know. After years of working with intuitive guidance, spirit, and some very smart, very grounded people, you don't have to choose between logic and intuition. They're not opposites. They're dance partners. And when they learn to move together, your life starts to flow with clarity, alignment, and confidence. The kind that doesn't just come from thinking, but from knowing. So let's take a deep breath together and let's talk about what it really means to trust your intuition and how to integrate it with that beautifully logical mind of yours. Now listen, when most people hear the word intuition, they picture something mystical or mysterious, like it belongs only to psychics or monks on mountaintops or people who can see auras. But intuition isn't rare. It's human. It's built in. It's that subtle awareness that speaks before your mind has time to even form the words. Intuition is that quiet nudge, the knowing in your body, the feeling that something is either right or not right, even if you can't explain why. And here's the kicker. You've already been using your intuition your whole life. You use it when you sense someone's mood before they say a word. You use it when you just know who's calling before you look at your phone. And you use it when a random idea pops into your mind and later turns out to be exactly what you needed. That's not coincidence. That's communication. It's your soul tuning into the wisdom of the universe. So let's clarify something important because people often ask, what's the difference between intuition and messages from the universe? And here's how I like to describe it. The universe, or spirit, source, God, however you want to name it, is the broadcaster. It's sending out signals all the time, like signs, synchronicities, dreams, inspired thoughts, and feelings and sensations. Your intuition is the receiver. It's the part of you that picks up those signals and translates them into meaning. So if universal guidance is the message, then intuition is the messenger. And when your energy is calm and your mind is quiet, your receiver is clear. And those messages come through loud and clear. But when you're anxious, overthinking, or doubting yourself, the universe and the signal gets fuzzy. It's not that the universe stops speaking, it's just that the static of your own thought drowns it out. Now, you don't have to force intuition or earn spiritual messages. You just have to tune in. And that tuning happens in stillness, in self-trust, and in the willingness to believe that not everything valuable can be proven. So here's why logical thinkers tend to struggle with intuition. So if you identify as a logical thinker, chances are your brain has been trained to lead with analysis, not awareness. And you were taught that truth lives in proof. And now listen, there's nothing wrong with that. Logic is a powerful gift. But here's the problem. Logic can only work with what it already knows. It draws conclusions based on past experience, data, and evidence. Intuition, on the other hand, draws from a much bigger field, what I like to call universal intelligence. It's It's not limited by what's already happened, it's connected to what's possible. So when intuition nudges you forward, something unfamiliar or uncertain, your logical mind tends to panic and it says, that doesn't make sense. Or where's the proof? Now, your mind isn't wrong, it's just limited to the known world. Intuition operates in the unknown. And therefore, the challenge for logical thinkers is not that they don't have intuition, it's that they don't trust it because it doesn't play by the same rules as logic. Now, what do you do when logic and spirit start arguing? Okay, so have you ever felt torn between what your head says and what your gut says? Well, that inner tug of war between be rational and follow your heart, it can get exhausting. And here's the truth. Neither side is meant to win. They're meant to work together. Think of it this way. Logic is your architect. It designs, it plans, it builds, and intuition is your compass. It points you in the right direction. So you need both. And when you let intuition set the direction and then let logic figure out the how, life flows. When you let logic lead without intuition, you might end up building something brilliant, but something that maybe is not meant for you. So, what do you do when that inner conflict shows up? When your intuition whispers something and your mind immediately jumps in with all the reasons it won't work? Well, first, I recommend you take a pause. Don't try to silence your logical brain. Acknowledge it. Thank it. It's just trying to keep you safe. Then gently ask, what if both could be right? Let intuition speak first. Then let logic help you implement what it heard. For example, maybe you get a nudge to reach out to someone and your logic might say, well, that's silly. They're probably busy. Instead of shutting it down, say, okay, my intuition says reach out. So logic, how can I do that in a way that feels natural? By doing that, now your mind is serving your intuition, not fighting it. Now, one of the best ways to integrate logic and intuition is to use your body as the translator because your intuition often speaks through sensation and feelings like a warmth in your chest or a lightness in your belly or goosebumps or chicken skin, as we call it here in Hawaii. Or sometimes you might feel a heaviness that signals, not this way, don't go there. Know this, that the body doesn't lie. When your mind is tangled up, your body holds the truth. So next time you face a big decision, instead of analyzing every angle, maybe just ask, how does this feel in my body? And you might be surprised at how much clarity that brings. Now listen, overthinking is really just the mind trying to control uncertainty. It's saying, if I can just think this through enough, I'll be safe. But life and spirit don't always give you full instructions. Sometimes you get just one step at a time, one nudge, one door, one little whisper. And your job is simply to say yes to that first step. When you learn to trust the first nudge instead of demanding to see the whole plan, you create space for the universe to co-create with you. And that's where the magic starts to happen. So how do you get better at hearing intuition and recognizing universal messages? First, you have to quiet all the static. You create moments of stillness. So, walks without your earbuds or showers without music. spend some time in nature or just sit with your journal, because the more quiet space you allow, the more your inner receiver can tune into those higher frequencies. And you also start to track the evidence of your intuition. I encourage you to write down the nudges you follow and see what happens next. And you'll start to see a pattern. That's how trust in your intuition builds, through your own experience and not anyone else's opinion. Now, listen, you don't have to abandon logic to live a spiritually guided life. You just have to reorder the hierarchy. Let spirit lead and let intuition translate, and then let logic implement. That's integration, where the wisdom meets the reason, where clarity meets flow, and where life stops being a struggle and starts feeling like collaboration. Listen, you don't have to choose between logic and faith, thinking and feeling, reason and resonance. They're all parts of you. And when they finally work together, life starts to unfold with a kind of grace that feels both grounded and miraculous. Logic gives you clarity, structure, and confidence to take the aligned action. Intuition opens the door to creativity, possibility, and guidance from a deeper source. And together, they help you navigate uncertainty without fear. You can make decisions that feel right and decisions that make sense. And you can begin to uncover parts of yourself you might not have recognized before. Now, especially when so many people are trying to figure out who they are in life, in work, in relationships, this integration becomes a compass. It shows you not just what to do, but who you are becoming in the process. And it's not about just getting results. It's about moving through life with a sense of wholeness, alignment, and quiet confidence that comes from knowing you're guided on every step of your path. So before we close, try this. Ask the universe for a simple, unmistakable sign today. Something fun, something lighthearted. Then just stay open. Don't overanalyze it. Just notice. That tiny act of asking and noticing is how trust begins. And it's how your logic and intuition start to dance together naturally. If you've been getting signs and nudges or synchronicities but can't quite tell what they mean, hey, that's where my spiritual readings for you come in. I can help you integrate and interpret what the universe is showing you and help you reconnect your logic with your higher knowing so you can move forward with clarity, alignment, and peace. To do this, you can find the link in the show notes, or I invite you to message me directly if you're ready to explore. Hey, thank you for listening. And as always, may you walk forward today both alive and aligned. Hugs and aloha.